Hello and welcome to the 1st of May. Today we're going to be carrying on with our instructions, and I've asked you to write instructions for how to make or do something. So the first thing we're going to do is our instruction plan. So we're going to have a quick think about all the different things that we could do our instructions on. We could do them on something we like to cook, or eat, so food. We could do it on a dance or a football trick. There's lots of different things you could do it on. I know some of you do other languages at home, so you could also do it instructions on how to introduce yourself. In Slovakian or Polish or any of the other languages that you speak at home. So these are my ideas. They're my ideas for my plan, for my instructions. Now I need to think about what instructions actually need. And I've given you a checklist as well to help you if you're struggling to remember the features of instructions. So the features, just to remind myself, so when I'm writing it for real, I know what my features should be. So I'm going to have a clear list of ingredients. I've decided to do this one. I'm going to explain how to cook something. I need to have steps explaining bit by bit how to do it. I might also include some pictures to help people understand what it should look like. I need to tell them what we're making or what the instructions are for. I'll need to put things in the right order. Because otherwise you're going to get very confused, or whoever's following my instructions is going to get very confused. Okay, now I've got these features, I need to kind of remember the layout of them. So now I'm going to think about my layout. How am I going to lay out my instructions so that they're nice and clear for people to follow? Well, as I said, I'm going to be making some writing about how to make something, in this case chocolate brownies. So I'm going to need my title at the top. And my title is obviously going to be how to make. Then I think I'm going to put underneath the chocolate brownies. Remember, this is just my plan, so I can change that when I do it for real. Then I'm going to need over here I'm going to need my list of ingredients. I forgot my opening statement, which should have gone before the subheading of ingredients. I'll have to make sure I put it in when I write my proper instructions. And under that, I'm going to list all the ingredients I'm going to need. This is my plan, so I'm not going to write them all out with all the measurements. I'm just putting the main ones there so I remember, and then under that I'm going to do my method. Now my method I'm going to spend a little bit more time on thinking about how I'm going to break down what I do. And I think I'm going to use numbers. You don't have to, you can use bullet points. That's totally up to you. So I'm going to make them quite short and clear, and each of them should have a doing word in them telling somebody what to do. So the first thing I am telling them to do is to cut the butter. Into small pieces. Then I'm going to go on to my next step. And I'm going to carry on like that all the way through my plan, trying to think of all the different things I have to do. Okay, so now I've finished my plan. Now I'm going to get on with my big write, my actual instructions themselves. So I'm going to put the title, big write, and its instructions. And my I can statement, I can write instructions. Yes, what I'm going to be writing about is food, and therefore it would be a recipe. It is still a set of instructions. Okay, so now this is my real one. That was my plan, this is my real one. So I decide I want to write a nice, catchy title so it catches the eye of the reader. Don't want to go crazy, it's not a poster. And I'm going to underline my chocolate brownies because it's the title. And I'm going to put this into a shape. So if I had lots of how to make series, I would have how to make the same, and then just my titles would be different. So that's my main title, so it's gone into the middle of the page at the top. And then my first subheading is ingredients. And Miss Gwillim's just remembered she's forgotten something. She's forgotten our first statement, which is telling people why they should do it. How to make the stickiest and richest chocolate brownies. So that should make people want to carry on reading your instructions. That's what that sentence is for. If that's boring and dull, people are not going to carry on reading. But if that doesn't tell them what it's about either, they're not going to know to carry on reading. Now I get to write my first subheading, which is the ingredients. And I'm going to underline my subheading. And then I'm going to list all the ingredients I need. Now I can do it with bullet points. I'm going to do it with bullet points because when I do my method, I'm going to use numbers. And this time, instead of just putting butter, I'm actually going to write how much butter. And you keep going until you've finished writing your ingredients or the things that you're going to need. Okay, so now I'm ready to move on to my method. So again, I'm going to write the subheading of the method. I'm going to underline it with a ruler. And then I'm going to write my step-by-step method on how to make these brownies using bossy verbs. They're called bossy because I've not put, please can you do this? I've said cut. It's like me saying sit. Okay? It's an instruction. It's a bossy way of saying it. And again, I'm going to write this method step by step. As you can see, I've carried on with my step-by-step instructions. None of them are very long, and all of them have a bossy verb in them. You're going to carry on. You may end up with quite a few steps. Okay, so I've now finished my last step of my method. And I want to end with a closing statement. So I'm leaving a little bit of space again. And I am going to leave with a statement of how to enjoy them. So in this case, because they're talking about my methods about making yummy chocolate brownies, I've said they should keep in an airtight container for 2 weeks. If you can stop yourself eating them all. Eating them all straight away. So it kind of rounds up what we've been making, how to enjoy it, and any other information, in this case, that they can be kept in an airtight container for several weeks. And that's how you write your instructions. Now, as I said, you can, on my plan, I have said that I could include pictures. So I could include a picture of a plate with all my brownies on them, finished. I've not got a brown pen, So unfortunately my brownies are all going to look like they're kind of alien brownies. Or you can include photos. You can also put photos next to each of the ingredients or each of the things they need so that they know what they're looking for.